The kids are laughing. What could be more beautiful, right? Except this time, they're laughing at me. I'm in a sports hall, school number 35, Odessa, Ukraine. It's 1994, and it's 3 years after the Soviet Union collapsed, and it's the year Ukraine gives up its third largest nuclear weapon arsenal in exchange for the guarantees of its independence. And I'm Katya Ovcharenko. I'm 12 years old, and I'm a peculiar child. I am very curious. I love reading, I love learning, I'm top of class, I'm winning all the humanities competitions, and I'm respectful. I'm also unusually open to a lot of opinions around the table, and I'm also open to the consequences of sometimes those opinions being too many. And I'm also quite wise. I still can keep up the conversations with the unhappy grown-ups about what's going on, and I'm naughty. Yes, I love music, I love performance, I love wearing dresses. Whenever I'm coming in, I want to turn this place either into a playground or a rock concert or a drama theater. And if I'd be allowed, I'd be wearing my dresses to every school class, but smart girls do not wear princess dresses, don't they? So I love music, but I hate PE. And you know, this day is the only day I cannot skip my PE class because it's the PE exam today, and I have to climb the rope. So I'm on that rope, and my PE teacher, Sergey, nicknamed the Terminator, is shouting at me. He's like, Ovcharenko, lезь по канату, like, climb the rope. I'm like, can I sing a song instead? He's no, life is not about singing songs, climb the rope. And which I didn't know about my body at that time, a little secret, that I have this syndrome called existential trauma, which makes my hands and actually all other parts of my body behave very independently whenever I'm in state of utmost stress, anxiety, or excitement. So what happens? Booms, I'm on the floor, lying down there, apparently on the mat, staring at the ceiling, and I can hear this laugh, but not the joyful laugh, but this sharp, echoing laugh that cuts into you like a knife. And I'm showered with the shame because my classmates are laughing at me. And I jump up, and I grab my Sony Walkman, and I grab my book, my weapon, and I run away from that sports hall. And as I'm racing out, I'm putting my headphones with Guns N' Roses' Ain't It Fun hard rock album, and I make a vow. No one ever will laugh at me in this life. But I forget something in that sports hall, a part of me. I'm Katerina Mileva. Katerina is my full Ukrainian name, and Mileva is my Russian married name. And for the 25 years since that rope drop accident, my life became a replica of one of my favorite books, The Lord of the Rings. Except for I'm no Frodo. I'm the queen of the ropes, ladies and gentlemen. And I have many ropes, but 3 of them really stand out for me. So the first one, I call it the Gandalf's rope, the rope of wisdom. That's my academic journey. I earned 3 university degrees. I completed a PhD program. I won the national competition in Arabic language. I mastered 3 other languages. And I topped it all up with a dozen of executive education programs. So now I'm officially smart. Beware. The second one is the Galadriel's rope, the loyalty one. I built a beautiful family. I married a handsome Oxford graduate from a wealthy family. We have 3 amazing, sometimes even well-behaving kids. And I host an elegant house in the downtown of Moscow. And my third rope is the most exciting of all, the Aragorn's rope, the rope of power, the rope of the ropes. I'm a CEO of the largest private bank in the post-Soviet space. I run billions of dollars in wealth for Russian-speaking clients from Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, and other ex-Soviet republics. I have all of it with one exclusion. The music is no longer sounding in my heart, and I don't have time to read my favorite books. But I keep on climbing. You know, I love the process until in October 2018, I face my singularity point. Like literally, I'm at the Singularity University, that's around Stanford in Palo Alto, and I'm there with another 100 business leaders and top managers from the world. We are all members of YPO, the World's Business Club, and we are there to learn about the amazing future of exponential technology. And on the last day of the program, a professor brings up the image called the vulture and the girl, very unexpectedly. The photograph depicts a girl, a baby girl, dying from hunger. She is crawling the savannah in search of some food, and vulture is standing behind her back, waiting for her to become his meal. And as I see this image, my body starts to tremble and shake and freeze, and I can feel my blood, fading from my face. And he continues with the story. He says, the author of the photograph, Mr. Kevin Carter, has received a Pulitzer Prize for that work. And when on stage receiving that prize, he's asked one question. So what happened with the girl? And silence is his answer. 3 months later, Mr. Carter commits suicide. And as I hear this fact, I freeze. I'm in shock. I have what I call the Soviet stroke, the conscience stroke. I realize that I am this Kevin Carter. I am somebody who so much indulged in whatever achievements and business KPIs and luxuries and shining of the world I'm in, that I totally lost any connection with anything human around me. And worst of all, in me. And I make the decision. I come back home. I cannot afford committing a full suicide. I'm still a mother of those sometimes well-behaving kids. But I take another decision. I decide to strip my favorite ropes. So one by one, I divorce my amazing husband. I quit my super amazing job, and I shut down all my social connections. I changed the phone number so that people cannot find me. And here I am in my version of the Mordor Valley. I'm standing there. There is nobody around. Everything is gray and dark, and the splashes of fire here and there. But I am called to something bigger. And I suddenly see this other rope, the rope of global social challenges, of human suffering. And I catch this rope and I swing with this rope into the world of impact, purpose, and mission-driven activities. I tried to start my own social enterprise, but the COVID hits and it doesn't really work. Then I pivot into helping other social entrepreneurs to fundraise for their activities. But not so long, the Russia-Ukraine war starts. And that is when I hit my personal rock bottom. When the survival is at stake, no wealth-related talk is relevant. I become a champion for YPO, that World's Business Club, to lead a mission, a Ukraine crisis support mission. And I have never done anything like that before. But for almost a year, everything I do is try and help my Ukrainian brothers and sisters to find their new place in the world. And what that teaches me is how to be human, but also how to stay human, whatever the cost is. Worst of all, it also teaches me how the sports hall sound when kids are not laughing anymore, even at each other. And I also become the refugee. I have to relocate my own family, and one day, about a year ago, I'm standing in my new home country, amazingly beautiful country, and I'm looking at the window of my bedroom at the shining, mirrory waters of Geneva Lake with the Swiss Alps behind the back of this lake, and I'm looking into the waters like in the Galadriel's mirror, trying to find some answers about my past, my present, and hopefully some future. But as much as I'm trying to look into those waters, the only thing I can see there is me. And I'm naked. I'm not only naked physically, but my soul is naked, my bank account is naked, my email thread is naked, my Friday evening dinner plans are naked. And I'm standing there exposed and vulnerable and stripped down of all the perceptions I had about myself ever in my life. And as I'm reflecting on what's going on, I'm asking, do I have any value at all? Is there any worth in me? And as I'm thinking, the tune starts coming from down of my body. And this is one of my favorite classical jazz songs, but of course in a naughty rock version. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Reeds drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I see it. I see it. And it stands for everything I ever loved and honored and stood up for in my life. It has curiosity, it has respect, it has openness, it has wisdom, and yes, it has naughtiness, because I claim naughtiness to be one of my superpowers. And it is my crown. Curiosity, respect, openness, wisdom, and naughtiness. And as I put back my crown, I can feel in my internal queendom, in my grace, in my honor, in my value, in my worth. I can feel I'm in my wealth. And nobody can take this from me, whether under the bombs or in the face of luxuries, shining luxuries of this world. And as I put this crown on, it lights up my path. It shows me which ropes to climb. It shows me with whom to climb those ropes, and most importantly, why to climb. So I'm asking you, what's your honor? What's your grace? What's your wealth? But don't be that serious. You remember, I love to play, so let's play a little game. I invite you to reach down under your chairs. And there is a box. Yes, it's invisible, but it's there. So just grab the box, take it slowly, feel the texture, put it onto your knees. Now open the box. Congratulations, this is the first time you see your crown. How does it look like? Now grab the crown. How does it feel to you? Now put the crown onto your head. Feel. How does it feel? You can look also to your neighbors' crowns. Now don't be fooled. This is not just an immersive fairy tale performance. It's very real. It's a very practical tool, and it's real for me, and it can be real for you. I'm Rina me. I take Rina from Katrina and me from Mileva, and this name is the essence of me, of what I've learned and experienced throughout my life. And I, Rina me, am a wealth scientist and a wealth care advisor. And what I do, I'm on a mission to redefine wealth and humanize wealth. And I'm helping us to find our own personal formulas of wealth, to claim these formulas as our crowns and step into our wealth beyond the numbers in our bank accounts. Now, with this mission in spirit, I would like you to embrace 3 thoughts. First, the old English word for wealth never meant anything material. It means wealth-being. Until 14th century, it had no material flavor whatsoever. Second, none of the tangible assets, however big the wealth or the fortunes are, they do not survive the 3 generations test. They evaporate. We evaporate too. And 3, the only lasting value in the history of humanity is something that has the ultimate essence of humanness in it. And these could be multiple things. This could be artwork, a book, a carpet. It could be a handcrafted table. It could be your grandmother's cake recipe, or a story that your mother told you when you were a kid. These are the things that can live through generations. And as I'm standing here, and you are all in these crowns, I can see immense wealth. So I invite you to strip the unwealthy ropes, see your crowns, and step into our wealth beyond the numbers in the bank accounts today. And I'm feeling good.
Yeah!